education, politics,
economics, culture. Weekly News, a roundup of national news of the week on Renouveau TV every Saturday.
Weekly News, the news to English speakers.
You are on Renouveau TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on Weekly News. Once more, welcome on Renouveau TV. A new market for the population of the commune 4 of Bamako district, 1,466,000,000 CFA francs, is the cost of the realization of the new market called Maribugari Gole, located in Amdala Assay. The inauguration ceremony was chaired by the Minister of Malian Living Abroad and African Integration, Dr. Abdurrahman Sila. The work is from Wali Jawara, a former of the Malian diaspora. Report. Directed by Malian diaspora veteran Wali Jawara through his Damala campaign, this architectural jewel, which costs 1,466,000,000 CFA francs, is built on an area of 7,200 square miles with all the conveniences of a modern market. Located in the area of Amdala as the Demir in the commune 4 of the district, this market called Maribugari Gole will be a real factor of development of the commune. After congratulating the promoter, the Minister of Malian Living Abroad and African Integration, Dr. Abdurrahman Sila, sponsor of the event, invited Malians of the diaspora to follow in his footsteps. Remember that the promoter, Wali Jawara, is a well-known economic operator in several countries such as Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, and the RDC. Health Union called on the government to honor its commitment more than a year after the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the government and the two health unions, namely the National Union for the Health of Social Action and Family Promotion and the Federation of Health and Social Action. The essential point reached between the two parties have not yet been applied. The return of Malian migrant continues after the repatriation of 155 of our compatriots on February 28th. The Malian authorities received this first day around 9 p.m. 160 average migrants from Libya, including 2 women, 50 minor children, and 21 prisoners. They were welcomed on their way at the international airport, President Modibo Keita Senu, by the Ministry of Malian Living Abroad and African Integration and its partners. Assistance and protection of Malian migrant return home. The President of the Republic, Ibrahim Boubacar Keita, carried on first day at the city UNICEF in Commune 6 of the district of Bamako at the solemn cut of the symbolic ribbon of inauguration of the House of Malian Living Abroad. Its production cost is estimated at more than 976 million CFA francs. Listed in the National Migration Policy adopted since September 4, 2014, the construction of the house for the Malians living abroad is the answer of the strong demand of the diaspora. This dream has been realized in Commune 6 of the district of Bamako. The infrastructure is the realization of the promise made to our compatriots living abroad, consists of 2 main blocks, namely the headquarters of the High Council of Malians living abroad and a reception site for returned migrants. This house will therefore contribute to strengthening the capacity of the department in the context of repatriation operation of Malians living abroad. On the sidelines of this inauguration ceremony, the President of the Republic decorated 4 Malians living abroad to the rank of Knight of the National Order and officers of the National Order of Mali. Use of national languages at school. The Mali Sira project of USAID is taking stock at midterm. The actors of the Mali Sira project organized an open day for the press on Tuesday at the project's premises in Amdala Assay. The aim was to present to the journalists the result of the midterm project report. Founded by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, at 30.5 billion CFA francs, the USAID Mali Sira project aims to improve the teaching, learning of student reading and writing in first and second grade in 8 academies in Mali.
The objective of the project is to improve the teaching and learning of reading and writing in Bamanakan in the early grades in grade 1 and 2 in Mali. We work in the Ségou, Koulikoro, and Sikasso regions, and in Bamako in the bilingual curriculum schools. We are making progress. We can't say that we have achieved our final objective, but there has been significant progress, and we expect that by the end of the project, we will have reached all our goals.
The project will support, among others, more than 300,000 students, 7,000 undergraduate and graduate teachers, and 20 teacher training institutes. It supports a policy of the Malian government to integrate the learning of national languages into the educational system. It should be noted that teaching in the national language enables the child to understand what is complicated and to capitalize on its knowledge and experiences. As part of the commemoration of Women International Day, the Right Bank Education Academy organized a panel discussion on the theme Gender-Based Violence towards this Wednesday, March 14 at Lycée Massamaga Diabate. Details. The phenomenon of violence against women is becoming more and more common and worrying in our society. It reached its climax with the socio-political and security crisis of 2012, especially with its share of rapes, assault and battery, sequestration, sexual harassment, mutilation, psychological violence, and abandonment. According to the findings, in 2017, several women were abused by their husband. Indignant at these treatments inflicted on women, the Teaching Academy on the Right Bank initiated this exchange on the occasion of International Women's Day. The aim is to make as many people as possible aware of the consequences of gender-based violence. Present at the site of their marriage, girls expressed their satisfaction with the choice of the theme. After having welcomed the initiative, the sponsor of this day, Baba Nayo, invited the parents to be more involved in the education of young girls. As for the principal of the Lycée Massamaga Diabate, he wished the perpetuation of this initiative. The draft budget of the year 2018 of the Malian Office for Housing is balanced in income and expenditure to more than 31 billion CFA francs. This is the result of the 41st ordinary session of the Board of Directors of the office held on first day, March 15. According to the Minister of Housing and Urbanism, this budget will certainly contribute to the realization of 50,000 social housing in accordance with the vision of the President of the Republic. Report. This 41st ordinary session of the Board of Directors of Malian Office for Housing is a privileged framework for dialogue and impetus for the action of the office for the year 2018. Opportunity for the Council Minister Sheikh Sidi Sissoko to review the achievement made by the Director Modibo Janka and his colleagues. The Minister Sissoko invites the management of the office to work closely and relentlessly to resolve the difficulties that the office faces in order to achieve the objective assigned to it. It should be noted that the government is preparing to launch the process of allocating 5,928 social housing units. So here takes an end this weekly program, and now we go with the second part of the program. Yes, after weekly news, we receive Mrs. Konate for the second part, which is at the discovery of a big feature. Mrs. Konate, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Sagara.
Welcome on Renouveau TV.
Thank you.
Okay, Mrs. Konate, who are we going to discover this evening?
Well, this evening we're going to discover Sunjata Keita. So he is Sunjata Keita, Mansaule, Manden Jata, Narimaga Mandenka, Sogolon Jata, Narimagan Jata, Sogo Sogo Simbo Salaba. He is a hero with multiple names. We also know him as the Lion King, son of Magan Konfata Konate and son of Sogolon Conte. We also know him as the founder of the Empire of Mali. He was born in 1190 at Niani and died in 1255. Much of what we know about Sunjata's history derived from oral tradition. According to the Epic of Sunjata, a prophecy was made which foretold the greatness that will be achieved by Magan Konfata's descendants and the Mali Empire. For this to be fulfilled, Magan had to marry a woman named Sogolo, who was described as ugly. Magan encountered Sogolon when she was brought to his court by two young hunters. Sogolon was supposed to marry one of the hunters, though in the end the hunters decided to offer Sogolon to Magan as he hoped to fulfill the prophecy. The king married Sogolon and she gave birth to the Lion King. He then founded the Empire of Mali, but prior to that, he went through many struggles in his life. He couldn't walk until he was 7. Also, the other wife of the king, Sassouma Berete, did not like Sundiata nor his mother. Long story short, Sundiata, his mother, and sister left their own kingdom to go to another kingdom to hide themselves until the promised king, Sundiata, gets older and able to fight his stepbrother who took over the kingdom and harshly treated Sundiata, who was supposed to be the king after the father. Long story short, when he grew up, he came back to his country. Sundiata took back his kingdom and fought against Soumagoro Kanté, who was the king of the Soso. Long story short again, he established the Kurukan Fuka Charter in 1235. We only know the Magna Carta, or the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, as the first human rights document. But in 2009, the charter was added to the UNESCO's representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. The Kurukan Fuka Charter contains a preamble and 44 articles. It speaks on social peace, the sanctity of human life, women's rights, the right to an education, food security, and even to self-expression. The charter gave equal rights to citizens, including women and slaves. The aim was to provide peace and social stability. It advocated diversity and spoke of abolishing slavery. So thank you for listening to this story, and see you next time for another big figure story.
Thank you. See you next time. And the third part.